Posted by you/valuablebit9799. 29F, don't drink alcohol. The short answer to why is that I grew up with two highly abusive alcoholic parents. It took a lot of self-work and therapy for me to even be able to be in the same room as people who are drinking. When I meet new people, I politely turn down drinks by saying something like, I don't drink. Occasionally, people ask me why, but I never share the traumatic details. I've never had anyone push the issue, until last weekend, which made the situation all the more bizarre. On the second Saturday of every month, my husband, 30M, and his sister, 32F, host a cookout or similar event for their childhood friends. I've always thought it was really cool that they've stayed close with so many people, especially since I moved away from home and only keep in touch with one school friend. I've been attending these gatherings since my husband and I started dating, and there's never been any issues. I get along well with his friends and sister. Last Saturday, my husband took my 11-year-old little brother out of town for a dad/son day, we're his legal guardians. I've had custody of him since I was 20. So, I went to the cookout alone this time. I've done this a few times before, and it's always been fine. My sister-in-law handed out the usual mimosas, and I asked for just orange juice, as I always do. However, when I took a sip of the drink she gave me, I immediately spit it out because I could taste champagne. I turned to my sister-in-law and said, "Oh, you must have given me your drink by mistake." When I turned, I noticed her and two of her friends laughing. I was confused and asked what was going on. Through giggles, my sister-in-law said, "We thought it would be funny to see how you react to alcohol since we've never seen you drink before. You should have seen your face." I was so shocked that my only response was, "What the hell?" As they continued laughing, I told them I was leaving. I don't even remember the drive home because I was trying to keep myself from having a panic attack. When I got home, I broke down crying. My husband and brother got home shortly after, and I couldn't hide how I was feeling, even if I'd wanted to. My husband immediately asked what was wrong, and I broke down again. I hate that my brother had to see me cry. I try to keep our home as happy and safe as possible. After putting on a movie for my brother, I explained what happened to my husband. He was furious. I've never seen him so angry. He told me to go relax with my brother while he handled everything. I could hear him yelling at his sister on the phone. After almost an hour, he came back to sit with us and told me we wouldn't be seeing her again. The next day, we told my mother and father-in-law. I've always been really close with them, so I wanted to confide in them, though I was nervous because it's their daughter and I didn't want to speak badly about her to them. To my surprise, they were absolutely mortified and apologetic on her behalf. I was so relieved, as my little brother adores them, and it would have been devastating if our relationship with them had suffered because of this. This past week has been strange. I feel deeply betrayed. I hate that my sister-in-law and her friends used me as some sort of entertainment. I know they don't understand the trauma this triggered in me, but I'm confused as to why they thought that was okay. I also feel guilty because I don't want my husband to stop attending the cookouts or to lose time with his friends, and I don't want him and his sister to stop seeing each other because of me. My husband has been amazing and reassured me that it wouldn't be my fault if he and his sister never speak again. Still, it's hard not to feel that way. Don't worry, I've had several emergency therapy sessions this week, and I know I'll be okay. It was just such a bizarre experience. It might seem like a small, inconsequential event, but it's been a crash course in trauma, triggers, PTSD, and more. Typing it out has been so helpful. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. Update 4 days later. Thank you to everyone who left kind comments and messages on my previous post. I'll get right into the update. A lot of you guessed correctly, this isn't the first time my sister-in-law has done something like this. She is definitely what some would consider a mean girl. My husband and his parents have had multiple falling outs with her over the years, but they've been on good terms recently, until she pranked me. So, yes, I can see how my husband's immediate reaction to go no contact might seem like an overreaction, but he's dealt with a lot from her in the past. I don't want to give any specific examples because they're personal to my husband and his family. I hope you understand. Here's what happened after my last post. After talking with my therapist and my husband, I decided to message my sister-in-law. I asked if she wanted to get lunch and talk about what happened. I wanted to explain some of my past to her, my PTSD diagnosis, and why what she did affected me so much. I just wanted this to be over so we could come to an understanding. But she never responded. A couple of my husband's friends who were at the cookout when the prank happened called us to check on me. They said they had no idea my sister-in-law planned that and would never have let it happen. That's probably why she didn't clue them in on the prank. They told me that after I left, they told her it wasn't cool. After a couple of days, I gave up hope of her messaging me back and decided to start moving on. Yesterday, my sister-in-law blew up my husband's phone. She said some pretty awful things. To summarize, it was along the lines of, "It's not my fault your wife is a PC who's scared of champagne." She called me all sorts of names, everything from BTCH to CNT. She said she never liked me and wished my husband had stayed with his high school girlfriend. They broke up when they were 18, by the way, my husband is 30 now, lol. The worst thing she said was that my husband was just doing charity by taking in a couple of orphans. If you don't remember, I have custody of my 11-year-old brother, and we don't have contact with our parents because they're abusive. So, yeah, some pretty awful stuff. I was honestly just shocked. I thought we got along fine. We were never best friends or anything, but I had no idea she held this much animosity towards me. Maybe she's just embarrassed and lashing out because her parents and some of her friends berated her for it? I don't know. My husband sent her just one message back, saying he never wants to see or talk to her again, and then he blocked her and her husband's numbers. He told his parents what happened, and they were furious too. I don't know what they said to her, but they're about as done with her as my husband is. Since I've been in therapy and have support around me, her words didn't bother me much. I know she obviously has her own problems to deal with, and I'm just her latest target. The worst thing she did was bring up my brother. I'll never forgive her for that. He's not an orphan, he has 2 parents who love him. And I'm not an orphan either, I have in-laws who love and support me. They've always had my back, even when it comes to their own daughter. If I never see my sister-in-law again, I'd be fine with that. I truly hope that one day she'll come to her senses and understand that the way she treats people isn't right. We've decided to turn every second Saturday of the month into family day in place of the cookouts. I'm going to be just fine. I'm already feeling miles better than I did when I wrote my previous post. Anyway, again, thank you for all the kind words.